You know how that dynamic of like every right wing accusation is a confession.
Mm-hmm. So you can go to 2020. This is probably around the time that I received a call from someone high up in the network asking me not to speak publicly about this.
Oh, wait, was it about this or about the union busting?
Oh, that happened twice. So it was about this, that TYT was selling its email list seemingly covertly to the Biden campaign in 2020. So this guy...
the exact thing that they accused us of doing?
Yeah.
That's the point that I find.
Isn't that interesting?
Listen, I don't like...
The vanguard will be there.
We may have to twist the knife a little.
So, guys, there's a lot going on, you know, and what's going to happen is from Ana, it's a wrap. Ana, TYT, I'm not going to be able to cover this all in one clip. Of course not. Gavin and Zach aren't playing. They have the tapes on TYT. TYT gave Cenk, again, I keep saying, the biggest unforced error. Cenk gave himself the biggest unforced error right now. He did. And we're going to see that. So we're going to break this clip up. And let's just go ahead and get into it, guys. This is Gavin. This is Sam Cedar, Emma Vigeland. This is, Zach, the Vanguard. They are calling out the lies of TYT, especially for firing Francesca. It's all coming crumbling down. The walls are closing in. Let's get into it.
Little bit, Zach, because as I put in the headline, Sam and Emma may have dealt the fatal blow to the Young Turks, following up on the total, disastrous attempt to publicly smear and humiliate longtime TYT contributor Francesca Fiorentini. Sam and Emma were like, "Fuck this! We're not holding back anymore. This is absolutely unacceptable." And just one after another, like a freaking machine gun, rattling off different crazy details exposing both Cenk, Ana, and the Young Turks company time and time again over the course of a 46-minute long expose that's gone absolutely viral. So, wow. I don't know what Cenk and Ana thought they were doing, opening this can of worms, pissing off all these people and the friends of people that they're pissing off, especially folks like Sam and Emma with the big platform and a lot of relevance, increased relevance, specifically in the Trump 2.0 era. While Cenk has been hanging out with Dr. Phil and, trying to get an invite to Mar-a-Lago, Sam Cedar has actually been battling conservatives, 300 style, right? He's like fucking King Leonidas. And remember he went to the Jubilee room and there's like hordes and hordes of angry MAGA hogs.
Shows up like Gerard Butler.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what Sam's been up to. And people fuck with it. People appreciate that energy. They approve of that vibe.
Right. All right. So we're just going to kind of move just a little bit further here. Hold on.
Jeez, that's pretty dark. But I think what you're saying is already being borne out, Zach, because Francesca's channel, like I said, this firing totally backfired. And she said this on our show. She was like, if they had just kind of quietly fired me without making a big deal about it, no one would have really cared, and I wouldn't have gotten much of a boost out of that. But as a result, she went from 150,000 subs to 182. That was what it was at, Zach, right? 150,000 before she got fired?
Yeah, it was like 4 days. It was crazy. I remember when she came on our show and we were chatting with her, and I was like, bro.
Like I said, Cenk Uygur really decided that, he didn't like making money. He he didn't really want this, he didn't want it, the success or something. He wanted problems. I don't know, guys. Help me understand what makes Cenk do something like this. Because TYT is losing viewers, and they are losing viewers. And the Bitchuation Room, of course, is growing viewers just the same way how Candace Owens did.
Bro, overnight, 17,000 new subscribers. So it's doubled since then. And it's going to continue to grow. The clip that she put out talking about why she was no longer with TYT has gotten over 400,000 views, guys. That's insane. Think about that. 400,000 eyeballs listening to this woman talk about why her progressive values prohibit her from endorsing the Young Turks, wanting to contribute to the Young Turks, and biting her tongue about criticism of the Young Turks Network, a place where she put in her heart and soul for 9 fucking years. You know what I mean? Almost a decade, guys. That's a long time. I've never worked anywhere for that long.
Yeah, 100%. It's genuinely crazy. I still can't believe they thought it would be a good look to go about firing her in that public way, without her being there to defend herself. But take a look, Zach. It seems like a lot of people agreed with us, because on the day that went down, TYT lost another 10,000 subs. So the mass exodus continues.
And let me tell you something. I am not like at all going to be like, oh, haha, that's what they get, ha. Because come on, I'm sitting here for 23. And shout out to everybody. By the way, thank you for watching this. Please hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. It really helps the sister out. But the thing is, I'm not gonna laugh at that, because come on, look at me. Okay. But it is a direct result. This has been happening on TYT for a minute, and then they already were losing viewers with all of the switching up, because Cenk, in October was like Trump's a fascist, and then by November, he was like, okay, let's not say that anymore. So it's just like the whiplash was a bit much, right? This right here was like taking a knife to a balloon.
TYT really has yet to make up any of the subs that they have lost, not only since firing Francesca, but basically for the last 6 months or so, they've been hemorrhaging subs, or at least not gaining any back. I think they've at least lost like 40, 50, 60,000, something in that ballpark. And like I said, it's a steady atrophy at this point. They're not regaining any momentum. They haven't found some new pool of support from the right wing like they expected they would. Nope, it seemingly has all dried up. They've hit the ceiling, even with Cenk going on Piers Morgan and going on all these other stupid podcasts, and Ana Kasparian going on right-wing podcasts that theoretically have a much bigger following than a lot of the left-wing shows like the Bitchuation Room. But, of course, it's not working at all. TYT continues to go downhill. And, Zach, I watched last night, or on Friday, it was a pathetic, miserable vibe. I don't think the stream cracked 3K live viewers. I think at their peak, it was at 3,000 live viewers. Ana Kasparian couldn't bother to show up. Not only was she not at the Poly Market studio, she wasn't even on the stream at all. So it was just Cenk and a few of his teleprompter readers. He doesn't even address them by name. They might as well be AI generated hosts. They don't even contribute anything. They have no ideology. They don't push back. They don't argue. It's not fun. Cenk looked miserable. And like I said, Ana can't even be bothered to show up, even after making Cenk fire Francesca publicly by himself, right, in such a humiliating fashion. So, no one's watching. The ship's going down. You can tell that Cenk and Ana's heart isn't in this anymore. And here comes Sam Cedar and Emma Vigeland again to kind of deal potentially a bit of a final blow. This is wild. Oh yeah, we talked about how Cenk was a bad businessman with Francesca. We talked about how he was a bad boss. I read through from 2017 on, Jeffrey Katzenberg, Joe Sandberg. They didn't do one of their primary investors, guys. Listen, think about this. One of their primary investors, a guy that they advertise on their website, gets arrested for fraud, and they don't release any statement about it. He defrauded his investors, okay? Those people who are connected to TYT via those investments, right? No comment. Oh, he's just in.
By the way, that happens to them. That's not me. So, because I was like, is that me? But then watching this again. So, they're breaking it down, guys. They're breaking down what's going on, especially with the investments, the frauds, and everything. And how Cenk kind of covered up for his boys, But the problem is, here's the thing. It's like, we're not even going to, look, if somebody else makes a mistake, what can I say, right? But just don't be virtuous. I think that's what a lot of people are annoyed with Cenk about, is that, you guys act so virtuous, like, oh, here, we are the progressive channel. And that's not the type of stuff that y'all are into. That's not the type of stuff that y'all really do behind the scenes. Nobody's perfect, but I just don't know who's worse in the situation, because I feel bad, because I also don't want to really keep coming for Ana. But this was just a failed move on Cenk and Ana. It just was firing Francesca, because now it makes people go back and look at all the lies again. That's what it makes people do. So I think what I'm going to do is, let me start getting ready for part 2. Because they're going to cover, there's just a lot to cover. Let's let me see. Yeah, there's just a lot to. Okay. Let's get a little bit of Emma and Sam kind of talking, but it's just gonna bleed into another episode.
We basically had we were basically TYT's client. And for, I think it was 20% of our YouTube revenue, they would do all the optimization. We're too small of an operation to do it. And so they would do it. And occasionally they'd put our stuff on their Facebook page or something. And Cenk came to me and he said, but he wasn't my employee. He wasn't employer or employee or any of it. And Cenk came to me and said, what can I do to tamp down this feud with Jimmy Dore? And I was like, fire him because his politics suck. And I think Jake accused me of wanting to call him names. I had a problem with Jimmy Dore on his TYT show saying it didn't matter if Peter Thiel was on the Supreme Court.
I have a problem with that too. I didn't know Jimmy was saying things like that. And this is why, look, you know what? We're going to go into the next episode with this story, with the Vanguard also providing assistance for the story, too, with, all of the stuff that they know. But this is why people aren't, on both sides of the aisle, they're not doing a centrist thing anymore, man. Like, people are like, really, the thing is, it's like, yo, man, what do you stand for? Yo, look, where are you at with it? That's where it's at. Where are you at with it? So keep it locked right here. We're not going to stop with the story. Yeah, keep it locked right here.